Welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorene Hughes. I am your intuitive connector for this evening. How are we? Let me just bring these tools a little bit closer. Just bring it in just a little bit more. Hi, Christine. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Oh dear, I hope you're doing really super well. I know I am. I did an in-person body session today, so I am one very happy camper. Very, very happy camper. I wonder who's going to come and join us this evening. I do love having friends. But I also know it takes people a little while just to come in and say hi and do all the things. Oh, I think I've got a little bit of fluff or a hair or something just sitting here and it's itchy. It's tickling my face and being annoying. It's all right though. Good evening, Melinda. Thank you. Yes, I haven't worn them in such a long time and my body was just saying, I want to wear those tonight. And I'm like, okay. Because the other funny thing is that with my hair now being at this length, it covers my ear holes. so it's like, here we go, right? But it's like my hair just wants to naturally sit like that over the front of my ears, which is fine. But it means that any earrings that I have that are shorter than that, you can't see. So my body's just like, hey, I want you to see the earrings today. So these beautiful earrings actually came from Bali when I went over there for my 40th. And so they're, 6 years old now. Awesome. Alrighty. How has your week been, Christine and Melinda and Tony? Hi. Thank you. I'm just very much in my flow today. Just chilling. Oops. Undo that one. How's your week been? Mine's been very, very full on, very busy, very long days, late nights. So to give you an idea, this week we had a team meeting and I had a bit of a plan for my team meeting because, as you guys know, I'm the team leader for the residential team now, but our team is kind of small and this will be the last time we get to connect before Christmas. And so I was like, right, I'm going to be, I just wanted to make a little gift bag for each person to say thank you for being part of the team, for doing such good hard work. And the majority of the team is people that I've now trained. So I've worked one-on-one with them and it is so beautiful. And they're just such a good team. And I wanted to acknowledge them for that. And so I made these really cool sleeve cards that we'd learned at craft class the week before. And so I got two and I was awake until 3:30 in the morning on Sunday morning doing these bloody cards. And then I had to get up and do an online session. So I didn't get to sleep in or anything. I was running on about 4 hours sleep. And then I've been training all week, which means that I've just been, it's tiring doing training because you're not only being very aware of what you're doing and how the customer is, you're also being very in tune with where your training person is, and and then of course you've got the extra cloths and things that you have to wash as well. So it was being quite a hard week. And then on Wednesday I got to go out to this absolutely palatial home. It's technically a 7-bedroom home and up in the hills, and we were just doing a walkthrough and getting a plan together for how the schedule cleaning is going to work. This house is so huge that over a course of a month, we'll get the entire house clean. Bearing in mind there's like 7 people living in it, and it's like I'm just like, whoa. But that particular job meant that I then had to come home and set out the plan and organize it because there's some parts that'll get done weekly, some parts that'll get done fortnightly, and some parts that'll get done monthly. And then they're getting 2 cleans of 4 hours a week. So just to give you an idea of how big the house was, it was like 8 hours of cleaning every single week, and you still won't get the entire house done in 8 hours. It's a lot. And it's not like it's an end of lease clean. And, they're not dirty, grubby people. It's a big house. Like our house here, some of those rooms, basically our whole house would fit in one of those rooms. It's huge. And so I was up until 12:30 on Wednesday night, organizing all of that because it was an urgent organizing thing needed to get done. And then on Thursday night, I was out at craft class. So again, another very late night. So by the time I got to craft class, I was like, oh my God, I'm running on fumes. And the lady who runs craft class was like, you didn't have to come. And I'm like, do you think I'm going to miss craft class? I don't think so. I am here. I'm here. I'm doing this. It's for me. So, I would say a small mansion, considering how big it could be. It does also have an exterior cottage that used to be like, say, a butler's cottage or something like that. And it's a heritage listed building. So that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like, because heritage listed buildings tend to be old and palatial. So huge, massive high ceilings. I've worked on 14-foot ceilings, but this is like, oh God, I couldn't even tell you how tall these ceilings are. They are so huge. And everything is just massive, absolutely massive. There's one room that has, they call it the pool room. It has a full-size pool table in it. It has enough room for full-size couches all the way around it, and plenty of room to spare. Like you could almost ride a bike around it with how much room there is in there. It's absolutely phenomenal how big this house is. And I'm just like, wow, no wonder this lady needs some help to keep up with it all. So yeah, that was an exciting one to do. It took me an hour to do the walkthrough with her. And considering, like, if anybody has ever done, hunting for a rental or anything, and they give you 10 to 15, if you're lucky, 15 minutes window to walk through a house, and this one was it took that long to go through it, and I don't think we even touched everything, and there was some spots that we didn't even get to see, so it was incredible. Anyway, back to what we're here for, because I can see people are like going, what the fuck is she talking about houses for? Let's see, which cards wish to come and play for our weekly reading? Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I would guess so, Tony. Something similar to a small theatre room. Yeah, huge. I think it may have been a ballroom or something back in the day. But yeah, so cool. So cool. I love the old architecture. Old architecture is why I got into architecture. Hi, Catherine. Old architecture is why I got into architecture in the first place. It was just, there's so much detail, and there's heart in it. There's creativity in it. There's a sense of the craftsmanship that went into these buildings. Whereas new buildings they're just boring. They are so boring. And all they're interested in is, the builders, designers, and clients are only really interested in how fast can I make this building happen and how cheap can I do it for. So the focus on quality and craftsmanship is not really there anymore, and that's what made me leave the building industry, to be honest. I went to New York, and I was over there at for New Year's 2010, and so I'd spent 2009 Christmas in Nevada, and then I did 2010 New Year's in New York. And hi, Lisa. And I just loved walking around the streets of New York and seeing all the old architecture there, and it was so beautiful. And the amount of detail that went into like the frames around the doorways, and they were made of like pressed concrete, but it was like they put there was a few of them I saw had the star signs in as patterns in them. And I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And then I got back to the job that I was in. I was a technical specialist and sales consultant. And I was looking at these plans coming across my desk and going, these are boring as batshit. In fact, batshit would be way more interesting than these plans. There was no heart in them. It was just square boxes, maybe with the occasional curved wall. And I'm like, where's the interest? Where's the wow factor of these? There is none. And so that's why I moved to Australia, because it was a complete life change, a complete career change, everything. Oh dear. But I do still love the building industry, and I just decided after that experience in New York that I had to get out of the building industry before I began to hate it. And because I still love architecture now. I still love the old buildings. Absolutely still love them. So it is the 29th of November today. Wow. We are heading into December. I cannot even believe it. So this reading is for the 30th, as I shuffle, the 30th of November through to the 6th of December, the day after my brother's birthday. Within this reading, on Sunday, we have a new moon happening. Ooh. So, how can we best work with these energies as a collective, including this lovely new moon? How can we work with that to our best advantage? I know that all you fire signs out there will be celebrating right now. I certainly am, because Pluto has gotten out of our star sign. Oh dear. If you didn't catch the post about that one, I shared I've shared a couple of them actually, but one of them was Real from, I don't know who she was, talking about it. It's on my Facebook page, so you can scroll back through my posts this week and you'll see it. It's like, and I felt it. I felt the shift actually, and it was like an immediate loosening up. It was like everything just kind of, and I feel like I've got so much more had an energy space for things. It's probably why I've been able to go and have those really super late nights and be very creative, because I feel like I'm no longer restricted, and it's like I'm finally out of that space of having to do the trauma healing. Like I'm still having to do with that process, never really ends, but I feel like the focus is off of that now so much. It's like now I can actually just focus on being creative and moving forward, and it's not so much the hard slog anymore. It's kind of like the weights have been removed. You know, if you do weight training or weight training, where you've got extra weights on you, and when you take them off, it's like boom, you get to speed ahead. It's like, it feels like that. A little bit like when I was in high school. I did calculus in my last year of high school, calculus and statistics actually. And my teacher was actually the school principal, and he was teaching us at a university, first year university level of calculus. And we all struggled so much for the first 6 months of the year with the curriculum that he had set up for us. But through the second half of the year, we flew through, and then we ended up doing our exams at the end of the year, and it was like, oh, this is so easy. Have I got this right? Because it seems too easy. Like I already really know this stuff. And that was the gift of having the school principal as our teacher, because he was like, and he told us at the start of the year, I'm going to be teaching you at this level so that when you come to your exams, it'll be a breeze for you. And it was like, oh, okay, that's a bit different, but okay. And I tell you what, I'm so glad he did. I'm just going to message Alex to ask him to turn the aircon in here because I'm a bit hot and stuffy. Where are you? I might just call him. Let's see what he says. Let's see if he answers. That's an even more important question.
Hello.
Hi. Can you put the aircon on, please? Because it's really hot and stuffy in here.
Absolutely. I'll
Thank
do it right
you. Now. All right. Bye.
Okay,
bye. All right. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this reading for the collective for this next week from the 30th of November through to the 6th of December. What is coming up? So we've got passion. So trust and follow your renewed passion in love life and career. So I think this is probably quite indicative, and I'm curious. In the chat, tell me, what star sign are you? Are you a fire sign, a water sign? Don't tell me your birthday or anything like that. I don't want to know that. But I would just love to know, what star sign are you? Because I'm an Aries, and it can be a bit intense being an Arian. But yeah, so we've got passion. So I'm getting a sense that like this new moon that we're coming into is really helping us to shift forward and helping us to narrow in on and trust our intuition. Because so often what happens is we get lost in the humdrum of life, right? And so we need to have a little bit of space around that. And sometimes a new moon does that for us. So we can release the stuff that's holding you back from trusting and following your intuition. And in this case, whatever is holding you back from trusting your passions or moving in through your passions, that's tough to release this weekend. Okay. We're getting some star signs rolling in now. This is so cool. Thank you. We've got Aquarius. Lisa's an earth sign. Melinda's an Aquarius. Lisa's a Taurian. Oh, yeah, that's very earthy. I think Amanda's saying that she's an Aries as well. Miss Catherine is a Libran. If I remember rightly, Libran's a fire sign, isn't it? Have I got that right? And if it is, happy days for you too, my dear. All right. The next one is prosperity. So interesting. I wonder what's cropping up for people around money this particular week. Being the first week of December, I imagine a lot of people are going to be thinking about buying Christmas presents if you haven't done so already. If you have done so already, congratulations. I'm very envious. I've only bought a couple, and I'm really stuck on that gorgeous man of mine. I don't know what to do for him yet. I did have an idea in mind, and then I was like, it's just there, but it's not there, you know. It's so anyway, we'll see about that one. So prosperity for this week to come for the collective. Lots of pressure, says Lisa. Yeah, financial pressure. Oh, okay, Amanda's an Aquarius as well. Cool. So your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. Okay, so what we're going to be, actually going to be looking at with this one is, because this comes with from the trust of your passions, right? When it comes to prosperity and money specifically for this next week, be mindful. That's what I'm actually getting, is be mindful of how you're spending your money. Don't go out and buy absolutely heaps of lots of things for ridiculous amounts of money. Obviously, you can make use of the specials, make use of the Black Friday thing. I think a lot of that finishes tomorrow for us down here in the Southern Hemisphere, the 30th. But I'm actually, with this particular card, I'm getting that we have to think about the future, and that we tend to spend so much money at this time on things and people when they either don't want what we've got them, or it's something that's just thrown away in 6 months, or it's chucked in the cupboard. So how could you be more mindful and to help the money go further? Because at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to be more conscientious with our money and our futures. If nothing over the last 4 years has taught us, it's that. It's being mindful with your resources, whether it be your time, your energy, your body, your financial flows. Be mindful. And I get that that's actually what this card is about. The next card is you know what to do. So I'm going to come back around to that Christmas thing, and I'm going to ask you guys, Melinda, good point. And there is Cyber Monday on Monday, so you can really make use of those specials. You know what to do. So trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So as far as Christmas, etc., and this week to come, following your passions, I'm getting a sense that this particular week is going to be an interesting one. I get the sense that you're going to be a little bit more focused on yourself and the community at large. So it's like, how can I, for example, be of service in this season? How can I contribute? Is it a case of, can you go maybe it's been tugging at you to do some voluntary work. Maybe it's to do a donation to a worthy cause. Is it donating, whether it be financial or maybe products, maybe food to the food bank or something like that. Whatever it is, get a sense that this is the week that this stuff is going to start bubbling up for you. And it's going to be about also having those conversations with your loved ones of going, hey, instead of us spending basquillions of dollars this season, perhaps we just do maybe one thing special for you. Maybe if somebody is planned, like there was one year, my mother-in-law at the time, she was looking at traveling overseas. So instead of buying her a bunch of things that she didn't really want, things like, body stuff or perfumes or anything like that, we just bought money in the currency of the country that she was traveling to. And we put that in a card and gave it to her. And she was just so blown away by that. Like, wow, I can't believe you guys just did that. And what that did for her was it started to bring in that even more so. She'd already bought her flights and stuff, but it just brought an even more excitement for her for what she was planning on doing moving forward. So maybe now's the time to start asking and using your intuition of what would actually be the most meaningful for that person. If it's money or gift vouchers or something like that, then cool. Allow them to go and just buy the things that they really wish to, or combine the monies to go and do that. Or is it, can I donate some money in your name to another organization who does good work in the community? That's also a really lovely thing to do in this season. Depends on how much priority people put on actual physical presence. Something to think about. The next one is clear your space. So where could you donate? What could you donate in your home? What could you gift on that maybe to somebody in need? There are loads of people out there that don't have much. I've been in those situations where I have had, I've left a relationship and I've had basically nothing. I remember sitting there crying in my friend's lounge room going, I don't even have a fucking kettle. And they're like $10 from Kmart. And I'm like, that's kind of beside the point. What I'm trying to say here is I've got nothing besides my 16 boxes of stuff and 3 suitcases and an air mattress. And they were just so gorgeous. And what they did when I moved into this place that I lived in was they brought me a washing basket, because I didn't have a washing basket. They filled it up with lots of little incidentals. And some of it was repurposed from their own kitchen. Like there was a dinner set that they were not using. So I got that. And cups and glasses and a knife set that they weren't using. And it was just this beautiful hamper, like tea towels and pegs. And it was just, I was so blown away. I stood there and I was immediately like stunned, and then I was crying, and then I was saying thank you and giving them a big hug and all that sort of stuff. But it was huge. And then they also gifted me a table and chairs that had been their parents that had passed away. And yeah, it was incredible. It was an incredible gift. So what perhaps could you gift that's of excess in your home to somebody in need this season? Clearing your space. Hi, Leanne. Amanda says, my mum buys goats for families overseas and gives us a card with their details. I love that. I was working for a family this week who told me about the cows for Cambodia. And they're actually not directly linked with Cows for Cambodia, but it's a very good friend of theirs that does it. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. And I'm wondering, like, because this is an organization, and if I've got this right, so what they do is they have this cow and they inseminate the cow. And so the cow's pregnant. The cow goes off to a family in Cambodia. They look after the cow until the calf is born. And then they look after the calf and the cow until the calf gets weaned. Then the cow goes back to the original farm, the organization, where it's again looked after and then re-inseminated. And the family gets to keep the calf. And the calf then becomes, something for the family to use to hope, and hopefully it's a female calf, and then that becomes a cow, and then that potentially gets inseminated, and then the cycle continues. And they have done so much work around that because it becomes beautiful for each family, because then they have if they they might have milk, they have a work animal, can help plow fields and things like that, haul water, and it also helps to provide the soil with nutrients because of the cow poops. So it's got that nice bit of manure. There's so much that a cow can do for a family, one family, and they've done something like 30-something families have now got cows. And it's continuing to grow. So that's really cool. So it's just so beautiful, the different ways that people help out, and these families are very much wanting for a hand up, not a handout. They want to be able to survive and thrive, not just survive, but they want to thrive. And that's why this particular organization is working over there, because they're all about helping people up so that they can grow stronger as a community and then do even more amazing things. This week for the collective, we've also got sensitivity. Not surprising. There's a lot of funky energies up still. Like, we're ramping up into silly season. We are, there's a lot of that, got to get this done, like that pressure energy happening right now. Amanda, you are so wise for getting out of the workforce right now. Like, very cool. So yeah, sensitivity. Don't be surprised if you're more aware of people getting cranky, if you're more aware of the traffic being stupid, if you're more aware of just everybody feeling a little bit more tense and uptight this week. And from a industry, multiple types of industries, particularly the trades though, they are all ramping up, trying to get ahead on their jobs, because their workers are going to be off for anywhere between 1 and 3 weeks. So they're trying to push through as much work as they can right now, which of course means everybody's running ragged, everybody's tired, everybody's cranky. That's for us in the Southern Hemisphere, that it's getting hotter, and so everybody's like getting dehydrated unless they've got Kangen water and they drink their Kangen water. So there's just a lot of different aspects where we're feeling a lot of pressure. So don't be surprised if you come home and you're just feeling like I was on Thursday, crying tired. Like, I was driving up between finishing work and then going out to craft class, and I was pulling off the freeway and I was like, I just want to cry. And I'm like, it's because I'm that tired, I want to cry. And Alex introduced me to this term that they have in their family of being crying tired. And it's like, yeah. But I knew I couldn't cry because I was driving and I wanted to be safe on the road. So by the time I got home, I'll let it go, because then I was excited about going to craft class. So sensitivity. Don't be surprised if you're feeling the energies and the pressures a lot more this week. Take it easy out there. So let's have a look and see. Tony can sort out her clothes. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, making space. I'm certainly going to be doing a little bit of that on my days off. This week to come, it's about tenderness, which actually really makes sense for all of this. This is a beautiful overarching theme. The tenderness and the vulnerability of knowing and trusting your intuition and going, actually, do you know what? That actually doesn't work for me. The tenderness is being able to acknowledge what doesn't work for you and acting on that. So, if you're somebody who struggles with big family gatherings, and it's tough because maybe you're a bit introverted, or maybe you're on the spectrum and that's hard, maybe, or you're neurospicy, as I like to say. I love that term, neurospicy. It's just such a great way to put it. And big gatherings of people that you only see once a year is hard. Like, in that case, acknowledge that. Go, look, this is a hard thing, but I do get the sense that it's a good thing for me to reconnect with these people every year. What things can I put in place so that I feel calm and centered enough to be able to do this without, hiding away in the corner and rocking and being a bit of a mess and isolating myself. So that can mean things like getting up and going for a quick walk outside, taking a little bit of a breather. It might be just ducking off to the loo. That's a good way to do it. And maybe take your phone and give yourself, 30 seconds to a minute just scrolling on your phone for a minute. There's a few different ways to manage being around a lot of people that you don't have a lot to do with for the rest of the year. Oh dear. Oh, Tony says that she needs to declutter her clothes. She said it's ridiculous. We have people, it's ridiculous. And we have people who don't have anything or much here. So I'll help them, I hope. Yay. That is so good. I love that. So yeah, just be aware of your money flows this week. Don't get caught up in all the bits and bobs everywhere. Like, everybody's so much money goes into things that people don't need or require. So yeah, Amanda says you're right. I need to get rid of my fridge and washing machine because they ain't gonna fit in the caravan. That's so true. I'm gonna gift them to a DV shelter to help someone get a head start on beginning again. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Amanda, message me because I possibly won't remember. Maybe if I do. But there's another organization that I know of, but for certain reasons, I'm not going to say it online here, that helps young ones with emergency housing type stuff, and they need fridges and washing machines when they go from place to place. So message me to ask me what that is, and hopefully I can get you, like, we can find some details so that you can get in touch with them, because DV stuff, those organizations tend to be pretty tricky to track down for obvious reasons. They are organizations that have to remain incredibly private because they don't want to be, and I think you even need referrals to get into them from doctors and things like that. So yeah, that might be a slightly easier way for you to gift your things on. And I quite like the idea of helping a young person gets started. There's a lot of people out there that don't have those sorts of things. So, yeah, I love the fact that we have the Buy Nothing groups up here in the hills, and they're all over the place. There's like thousands and thousands of them around the world. But I got introduced to them being up here, and I've been able to gift so many things forward that way, and it's been so lovely to do that. I have another round of stuff that I have to get rid of next, and I'm looking forward to being able to do that. Hi, Alex. Tony says, yeah, I like helping people in my backyard, so to speak. Me too. Alrighty. Miss Christine. Yeah, and those young ones, oh my God, like when I first moved out of home as such, initially when I moved out of home, I went into the halls of residence, which was great because I didn't really need anything apart from my clothes and my stuff and my studies. But when I moved into my first flat, I got heaps of help from my family. I was so lucky. I got a bed, and I had, and I got a fridge from my grandparents, and I had a washing machine that my granddad bought from like the secondhand store. We got, oh no, that wasn't the. What was the washing machine? No, it was my mum's old washing machine. I just remembered. So she'd gotten a new one, but the old one still worked. So we got the old one. But my fridge came from my grandparents, and it was one of the old ones that had the handle that pulled out, like it was a hinged handle, and you had to pull the top of it. And then when you went to shut the door, you had to make sure that the latch was up so that you could shut the door. It was heavy as anything, but man, it did such a good job. And it lived, like, I think it must have been 30 years old by the time I got it. And it lasted some good few years, and then accidentally it got dropped as it was being loaded into the house that I flatted in with my brother in Hawke's Bay in Hastings. And so we had to go out and get another one. And my granddad very kindly bought that one from a secondhand store. So I've been very, very fortunate for that first setting up. It was only like my first flat, I would have been 19. So yeah, and lounge suite, like my mum's old lounge suite that I don't know where she'd got it from, but yeah. Yeah, when you just helped me, Amanda says, you just helped me remember when I first moved out, I had to wash my clothes in my bathtub for like 6 months. Would have been a great little help. Would have been great to have a little help. Yeah. In the halls of residence, we had to pay to get our clothes washed in the commercial washers. And so, yeah, I did a lot of hand washing in the halls of residence, because I was just like, I can't afford this week to, go and have my clothes washed. So I would do that. And then you'd end up with this weird, like, Chinese laundry happening inside your teeny tiny little room. It was the funniest time. But you just do what you do when you're young, All right, Christine. You're up, my love. I hope you're listening, you're watching. Let me jump back to your question because you're really awesome like that. All right. So just before I go into Christine's thing, I'm gonna do something to help me. Oop, come on. Thank you. Cool. Help me stay there. Yay! Hi. So my work party, staff party, is on Friday the 20th of December. Yay. You guys know that me not doing the show is a very, 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 very difficult thing for me to do. There's only a couple of reasons why I won't do a show. One of them being if I'm going through a little bit of an upgrade and I require just some peace and time to just quiet to be able to integrate and just give myself that space to do that. Or if I'm traveling and I can't be on the computer or something. So obviously when I was away in New Zealand, we didn't do a show then. So an office staff party is kind of like and I hummed and hard, and I hummed and hard, and I hummed and hard. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, because I'm more in the sort of the management type sector now, I kind of feel like I have to go. And so I was like, but I don't feel like I want to be obligated to go. And there was nothing said by my workplace to say that I had to, right? And I was like, oh. And so I did finally do what I encourage all of you to do every week, and that was to use my intuition. And I finally asked the question, and it was funny because I was avoiding asking the question of what it would like, truth, what will it create if I go to the staff party? Truth, what will it create if I don't? And I was avoiding asking those questions because I love coming to be here with you guys so much that I was like, but what if it says that it's going to create more by going to the staff party? Then I've got to miss out on my show, and then that sucks. So instead of it being because, so often we avoid asking those questions because we're afraid of the fact that we'll get a truthful answer, like, truth, what will it create if I stay in this relationship? And it's like we're avoiding that because on some level, we already know that this abusive relationship is not healthy for us, and we really should just cut the ties and go. But it's like, oh God, if I do that, then I've got to start over again, and then I've got to move house, and then I've got to do this, and I'll go rah, 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 rah. So instead of it being that, it was because, but I want to be with my friends. Luckily, I like the majority of the people that are actually, yeah, I do. I like the majority, if not pretty much all of them. I like aspects, if not all of what they are and how we all work together, and things aren't always going to be smooth sailing all the time. It's a big workforce as such for a family-owned and operated business. There's quite a number of us. There's probably about maybe 35 to 40 plus the office staff. So, yeah, it's a good size business, really. And I am asking, because I'm going to have to do some prep, if you all would be interested in me doing a show like this on the Saturday instead of the Friday. And then I'm considering doing a special meditation on the Sunday, which will just be a pre-recorded thing that I will just release for you guys. And on the Sunday, so you'll get a full show on Saturday, a recorded meditation on the Sunday, a recorded meditation on the Monday, and a recorded meditation on the Tuesday. That leads you into Christmas. Would you like that? If you guys are like, meh, then I won't do it. I'll just skip the week. But if you're like, oh my God, that would be fucking amazing, yes, please, put that in the chat. Let me know. And then I can see what brews up. And I'm getting a sense that it will contribute a lot at that time to have those connection points for those, 4 days before Christmas. So the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I know Christmas can be a really hard time for some people. It can be quite isolating. So, yeah, just you let me know. All right. Cool bananas. So, jumping back to Christine, and because she has been very, very kind and popped through a donation for a reading. Sorry, just saw another little message popping up, and I'm like, all right. So I have a question as to if I should go to Dr. Adams, Dr. Dunn, or Dr. Graham for my crown dentist. Interesting. So in answer to my question around the pre-Christmas specials, we have a yes, please. Oh my gosh, far out. Yes. Yes, please. That would be amazing. Happy to do whatever feels good for you, please. That would be awesome. And a love heart. Cool. All right. You guys twisting my arm. You're going to get me for 4 days in a row. So it would probably still be around that sort of 8 o'clock time. Just so it's consistent over the 4 days, and the 3 days, the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will all be pre-recorded, but you can still pop into the chat, and I'll probably still be in the chat anyway, just to have chats together, and if anything comes up, yeah. Alex says you can always take a break during the holidays, Yes, recorded can do, or you can do a live on the Thursday. No, see, Thursday I'll still be working, and I come home and I've got lots to do when I get home. So Thursdays are that's why this show's on a Friday, because I only do the specialized cleaning job Monday to Thursday. So it's I don't like doing really anything on a Thursday. Craft class is the one exception, but that's usually only once a month. Sandra says, abso-fucking-lutely, if it works for you. Yes, we can make it work for me. Catherine, I'm okay with both offers. Thank you. Very happy for you to go and enjoy your work, Chrissy Party. Yeah, I do get the sense it's actually going to create a lot more. Believe me, doing podcasts is always a yes. Except for when it's not, which is very, 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 very rare. But going to the party this time was just a little bit more of a yes than being here. Can't blame me for trying. Oh, yes, but I also know my limitations. You wouldn't be getting the relaxed me if I was to try and do it on a Thursday. It's just too much. All right, so health and well-being. So let's bring up. Let's bring out our lava kite, because this is why I bought the lava kite, because I was like, I get the sense that this is one that is going to be really good for these health-related type questions that pop up from time to time. All right. Make sure you guys can see that. Cool. Whee. So, show me a yes, please. Thank you. And show me the no. Okay. Thank you. Come back to center. Thank you. All right. So truth, what will it create if Christine goes to Dr. Adams as her dentist? Okay, we're getting around in circles for that one. So that's sort of like a undecided. That's what the round in circles means, is undecided. Okay, let's go back to center. Can't be bothered waiting. Thank you. Truth, what will it create for Christine if she goes to Dr. Dunn as her dentist? Dr. Dunn is a yes. Truth, so it's back to center. Truth, what will it create? Oh, gosh, okay, enough with Dr. Dunn. Truth, what will it create if Christine goes to Dr. Graham for her dentist? Okay, that's a straight up no. Okay, you can see that. Very much. Dr. Graham is a no. So truth. So let's see. We had Dr. Adams, which was kind of like undecided, right? Dr. Dunn was a yes. Sandra, absolutely. That's what's rolling across the bottom of the page. All right. So truth. What will it create for Christine in 1,000 years if she goes to Dr. Adams as her dentist? Okay. In 1,000 years, that's become a no. That's gone from being undecided to becoming a no. Truth, what will it create in 1,000 years if Christine goes to Dr. Dunn as her dentist? Yep, that's still a yes. And truth, what will it create in 1,000 years if Christine goes to Dr. Graham as her dentist? There we go. Look, I hadn't even finished saying it and it was a no. So that's pretty clear. Dr. Dunn is going to be the best way for you to go. This writing is too small tonight. I can't help that, love. Oh, dear. Okie dokie, my love. I hope your teeth feel better. Because that would be sucky if it didn't. Alrighty. Thank you for your very kind donation and for kicking us off for the evening with our donations. I so appreciate you, Christine, and for your continued support of the show. And I love that I get to work with pendulum stuff with you. It's awesome. Keeps my skills up. And of course, your donations help to keep the show running, which is always appreciated. Alrighty. We have received a donation from Alex. So Sandra, yeah, the link is either down the bottom or it's in the show notes or it's in the original post. It's in the chat as well. It's a pinned post. You're on Facebook, so have a look in the pinned post on the chat and you'll see it sitting in there. Thank you, Amanda. See, you just sent that message through, and I did see that you had driven a whole bunch. Hang on, where did I see that? Drove 9.5 hours to Melbourne yesterday and back today, so pretty tired and off to bed. Good night. So good night, Amanda. Have a lovely evening. That's a lot of driving. That's a lot of driving. So Alex, what would you like to ask as your question, please, my dear? Oh my God. That reaction is because I'm drinking, and this is for my Kiwi people. I'm drinking Health3's Feijoa tea. Now, you can't get this tea anymore. I've had it for years, and I refuse to get rid of it. Tea's tea. It's dried. I don't see a problem with it as long as it's not got bugs in it. You literally cannot get Feijoa tea anymore. I'm so sad that you can't. There's a lot of flavors that Health3's used to do that they no longer do. And I think Tamarillo tea was another one that they used to do. Don't do that anymore either. It's all real boring stuff now. And I'm like, oh, it's such a shame. But so, yes, I'm drinking a very special cup of Feijoa tea tonight. And we can actually get Feijoas here in Australia. There was, when I was working in disability, there was one of the families that I worked for there. They were originally from Timor, East Timor. And I was working with their son, and one day she had this fruit, and they quite often used to share with us carers like excess fruit that they'd been gifted and things like that. And this one day she says, I've got this fruit from my friend of ours. They've got this big tree, and it was all there. And do you want some? I don't know what it is. I don't know how to eat it. I don't know anything about it, but I figured maybe I could gift it on to someone. And there she sat with this small bag of Feijoas. I looked at it and I burst into tears. And it was for a couple of reasons. One of them was because my granddad had passed away at the start of April the previous year. And it's Feijoa season in New Zealand at that time. And for that week, I had eaten like a big shopping bag full of Feijoas from a family friend's home. And I took them everywhere with me. So they're eating Feijoas for an entire week. So now Feijoa season and my granddad's passing are kind of energetically and physically linked in my brain. So being that it was around the anniversary of his death, seeing these Feijoas sitting in this bag, and she only had like maybe 8 or so, just brought up so much emotion. I'm sitting there crying, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad, I made you upset. And I'm like, no. It's actually, this is happy tears, because it's like I had no idea that we could even get them here. And my second husband and I actually planted 2 Feijoa trees, and this is 10 years ago. We planted them, and just this spring they have flowered prolifically, and there's a very, very good chance that he's actually going to get a nice little harvest of Feijoas this coming year. So it's interesting. They take a long time to go from blossom to fruit. When I thought about it, I was like, gosh, because they were blossoming around, I think, October. So it takes nearly 6 months for them to go from blossom to fruit. They're not very fast growing trees. But yeah. So Alex, your question is, and Christine says, how I wish we can get your teas here in the USA. You probably can. But I mean, I have a very big collection of tea, and I love them. I love them all. And I'm really grateful that there's more variety over here in Australia now than what there used to be. That used to be just like you could get a chamomile tea and a peppermint tea and a ginger tea. And that was kind of it. And then they've slowly expanded out. Of course, they had all the black teas. You know, they used to have Lady Grey. It's now very hard to find a Lady Grey. but they've changed it out for a French Earl Grey instead, which is nice, but not the same as a Lady Grey. You can get a regular Earl Grey, and of course all the green tea and jasmine with green tea and all that sort of stuff. But in Port Adelaide, if any of you guys are locals, there's a place called the Shanghai Tea House, and it's in the newly developed or newish Port Mall. And, you know, where Coles and what is going to become Big W, which used to be Kmart, it's in that complex. And they have a massive range of tea, and they have dumplings and all sorts of other meals and stuff, but they have a full menu just of tea. And these are like proper brew loose leaf flower type teas, and there's so many in there. It's one of my favorite places to go. If anybody down the hill goes, oh, do you want to go somewhere? I'm like, let's go there, please. Thank you. It's just so amazing. Hibiscus teas are lovely. I have a few of those too. Lemongrass is great. You know, before T2 went belly up, I have a few of those teas. I don't know if they're fully belly up, but they're just not as popular. I think they made some interesting business choices, which had a really massive flow-on effect to their customer base back a couple of years ago. And maybe there was something else going on. I'm not sure. But yeah, T2 is not as popular now, unfortunately. So there's that. Oh, that was fun. Sorry, just I don't necessarily get to see all the love hearts and stuff. So I was just having a look at that on the Facebook thing, and I was like, oh, look at that. There's the love hearts and things. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. Yeah, see, I'm watching again. There we go. Yay. Could be rather distracting. Let me see if I can. I don't know how to do that. Because if I just duplicate it, no, that's not going to work. That's okay. That's something for me to figure out on another day. Lemon balm, lavender, and rose tea. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds really lovely. What brand is that, Catherine? I'd love to know. Love to know. I can't remember how many teas that I've got. There's a lot, though. There's a lot. Hang on just a moment. Oh, where did you go? Yes, I built a tea caddy back this year. I finished it off. I started it like nearly 2 years ago. Well, actually it'd be more than 2 years ago now, because it was while I was still in my year of doing renovations that I started that. So gosh, that's a while ago. Time flies when you're having fun. And finally finished it off. And I can actually physically take my tea out with me. So I wouldn't take it everywhere, of course, but I took it camping. I just closed the little doors, put the little latch across, and I physically took the whole lot of tea off camping with me. And then I got to show my friend, and I said to her, would you like a tea? And she's like, oh my God. You're not kidding when you said you love tea. And I was like, I know. Yes, we are apart but experiencing the same on the live. I love it. Alex says, oh yes, I've got a pack of rose. It was okay for me, but maybe not for me. See, rose can be, it's a very gentle, it's a very subtle flavor. So I find that there's one that I've got that's I think it's a rose hibiscus something. And that one I picked up from like a Foodland, I think. And that was beautiful. So anyway, back into these donations and these readings. What's Alex's question? And who wishes to come and play? Interesting. Interesting. Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so the question that Alex is asking is, how's Jean-Pierre's energy for this week? I've had a few signs of our union taking place soon and how he's feeling towards me. I feel it's stronger now than ever. Okay, so my question is actually to the cards going to be, what do you require to know about the possible union between yourself and Jean-Pierre? Okay. So there's some interesting things that are coming in. There's a song from the Corrs, Corrs. They're an Irish band, and the song is called Runaway. And just so I don't get in trouble, I would highly recommend that you find that song and you listen to the lyrics. There is something very special in there that your team is asking for you to hear. What's the next one? There's something about they're saying trust yourself but take off the rose tinted glasses see the truth of what is actually happening and don't get swept up and the negativity from others. Because you've got a lot of people in your world, or not maybe a lot, but certain people in your world that are very opinionated about the situation. And it's making the waters a bit muddy for you, for you to be able to see things with crystal clarity. So that's the messages I'm hearing from your team. So let us have a look at what this. So we got the Heal Yourself deck, which we know is it's the kick-ass deck. It's the deck that tells you the things that you don't necessarily want to hear. Okay. Interesting. All right. So the first card, so remembering that our question was, what does your team require you to know about this union between you, the potential union between you and Jean-Pierre? So yes, they liked him but didn't like how he broke up with me. Indeed. So just be aware of that. So the first thing that we've got is to number 11, which is to take off your masks. Stop trying to appear different to who you really are. It's time to take off your mask and be the real you. You cannot get the love and attention you are craving by pretending to be someone you are not. Why are you so frightened to be honest with yourself and others? Do you feel that you will lose friends and opportunities by showing others your imperfections, fears, and vulnerabilities? Are you constantly doing things to please others, even if doing this does not work for you? This card indicates that you need time to get to know yourself and what is important in your life. You will know that you are evolving when other people's judgments of you no longer impact you. If you have an incredible talent, believe in yourself. Don't hide your greatness because others feel envious or resentful. Remember, every great leader had someone who loved them and believed in them, as well as those who doubted and disliked them. So initially, this card, the things that were sticking out the most with this card was actually the line where it says, this card indicates that you need time to get to know yourself and what is important in your life. In this time of our spiritual development, there's a lot of this removing of masks happening, and it's scary. It's scary to go from the very form and structured way that we have been, and knowing exactly how to present yourself in the world, to going, actually, that is not true for me anymore. So in relation to this Jean-Pierre possible reunion, I think your team is actually saying you're going to have to be very real, very brutally honest with yourself, and very raw with you to be able to do anything substantial moving forward with him. And he's going to have to do the same. He's got some shit going on too that he has to deal with. So it's like, for you to be able to come together and be loved and have the attention that you're craving. That was one of the first lines it said. You have to stop pretending to be something that you're not. Okay. We have these masks as levels of protection. They're not bad. They're not good. They just are. And in this space and time, when we're going through this level of ascension, these masks are becoming less and less important. Cool. So 11 is his birth date. And yes, I had done that, but have slowed down on that. I've started opening myself up, especially going on live readings, etc. Very scary, but I'm learning and accepting my journey. Yeah. I think we all go through that. Like we go through ebbs and flows of our spiritual development, which is interesting because the next card that you got is number 30, which is courage. Okay, so there's the card there. And it says, courage requires you to fearlessly strive ahead and despite the challenges you are experiencing. Whether you are afraid of success or failure, you cannot stay where you are. You require to make a decision and move forward with belief, trust, and boldness. Give it your all, no matter the outcome. Despite what you have been telling yourself, you are ready for a new adventure and another chance to prove that you have what it takes to face life's challenges. Stop investing in limitations, lack, and dysfunction. Every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing. You are ready to explore both. Whilst there may be difficult moments ahead, keep positive and believe that everything is going to work out for your absolute best. You are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are and stand strong for your convictions. So you've got a couple of choices in there, don't you? It's like there's, on one hand, this card is kind of saying, have you thought about having enough courage to move forward on a new adventure rather than looking to the past? And in saying that, it's scary, and they're acknowledging that new adventures are scary, but you can have the courage to move forward. There's also, if you really truly feel that he is the person for you, then trust that without being a psycho. Just saying, because we can get a little bit obsessive sometimes. When we are in a space of not fully being connected, we try to fill up those spaces with partners or other obsessions such as alcohol, drugs, shopping, food, and relationships are one of the things that we can use as a distraction from doing our own internal work, right? So I would highly recommend to you, number one, that you're going to have to do some more internal work, some more solo stuff first, some more development, some having the courage and getting out there and having maybe a few body work sessions, like some other healing type stuff, some metaphysical healing stuff. And if you still feel the same after you've reconnected all the parts and pieces of yourself and you're feeling more centered and more like, and the stuff with your business is doing well and all those sorts of things, like when everything in your life is going really well, if you're still feeling the same about him, then I get the sense that you'll probably have more of an awareness and a very open, crystal clear awareness as to if it's actually going to work for you or not. Because the thing is, you're in a progression, like you're in a development stage right now. Maybe you just outgrew him. Interesting. The next card that we've got for you is number 24, which is self-love. Take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of your life. Some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which lead to harsh judgment of the self, closing down, and eventually illness. Have you been trying to compete with others, get approval from people in your family, or simply pushing yourself too hard? If so, you need to soften and start listening to your body. Focus on keeping your heart open and practice acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out every moment of the day. Ask yourself, what changes do I require to make to my daily routine so that love can pulsate through my every breath, action, and relationship I engage in? Choose to open your heart through softness, deep breathing, relaxation, movement, finding beauty in nature, in your home, in your pain, in your love, in your sadness, in prayer, and so on. Keep your heart open even though it makes you feel vulnerable and exposed. So this week, your action for this card. This week is your opportunity to learn to receive. Anytime anyone says something nice to you or offers to help you, take a deep breath, thank them, and accept. You require to find something loving or nurturing to do for yourself. This could be a massage, a healing treatment, or a movie with a friend. Every time you look in the mirror, repeat, I am lovable. Do this every day until you really believe it. Okay? So you said, I really do. I wasn't for a while. Disliked him being his twin and past life, but now I actually let it out and I am open to receiving him back into my life. I do realize I love him unconditionally and still have lots of work with him. Yeah. I guess the biggest question here is, truth, does he actually wish to have a relationship with you? Because it can't work if it's only one-sided. So that's one of the questions you have to ask for yourself. Okay. Your next card. So you've also said, yes, true. I'm learning to love me and just going deep within me. I've started to change a few hardnesses of myself. Well, maybe not with work, but in other relationships, yes. I've started to thank the universe about my house, my health, my daughter, and work coming in. Yeah, absolutely. Have I told you about the magic book? It's the 28-day gratitude process. It's by Rhonda Byrne. That is incredible. 2 seconds. It's this book here. Okay. This book is incredible for changing your philosophy around yourself, around your community, around your situation. It's so, so good. And if you do the practice and you do the process every day for 28 days, this is the process of it. It gives you something to do every day for 28 days. And if you do it every day, by the end of a month, you'll feel so much different within. You'll have a different mindset. You'll have, there's just so many aspects that will change. Your relationships will change. Oh dear. The pussy book's bloody good too. Right, your next card is, which fits in really well, how teachable are you, which is number 9. Are you open to learning new things in your life? How high is your desire to let go of judgment, doubt, negativity, and self-sabotage? What are some of your favorite things to do? Is it to watch TV, go shopping, play golf, drink, gossip with your friends? Are you willing to give those things up in order to create time to learn something new? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? What is your willingness to really apply what you learn? You might be learning many new things but are resistant to change. Every time you think, I already know this, I've heard it before, this doesn't even apply to me, your ability to learn diminishes enormously, and it is at this point you may become virtually unteachable without realizing it. Unless you apply what you have learned into your life, you won't really know it. This card is beckoning you to not only be open-minded, but to take specific action towards change. Okay? No, the secret is different. There is a series of about 7 or so books that are all different, but they are all from Rhonda. So the one that you want is The Magic, okay? Because it's another one, okay? That's specifically the gratitude process. So how teachable are you? Are you willing to actually soften? Are you willing to be wrong? Are you willing to be, to allow yourself to be open to a completely different possibility? There's a conversation that a very dear friend of mine and I have been having this week around, we have done so much work on ourselves that we are no longer choosing relationships that are triggering and harmful. We are no longer choosing the bad boy relationships or the spunky guy. Like Alex is, I find Alex attractive, but we're no longer choosing those relationships which trigger our anxious sides. Her and I have a very similar attachment style in that we are mostly confident mostly secure, but we also have a small element of anxious attachment style. So if we're with somebody who is a gaslighter or a narcissist or is just straight up avoidant, that will trigger our anxious attachment style. And we go into a whole bunch of survival techniques like people pleasing, and then we might swing the other way and go into a lot of hardness and being really inflexible. So we can sort of swing either way, and it's not great. But it's all brought up stuff. It's activated both of us. Though each one of those relationships have activated us to look at our own shit, because at the end of the day, we had a lot of stuff that we had to heal. And for us particularly, there's an element there of healing through relationships. And it's one of the ways that we have connected really deeply over the years. And I'm so grateful. Like, now that I've got the awareness that I have around my relationships, and the healing that I have done thanks to them, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, I know now that I am where I am with Alex because of that. You know, Alex is a very kind and gentle man. He doesn't like confrontation for a start. So he's not going to like activate me in the way of like firing up at me or giving me the cold shoulder, because even the cold shoulder is a form of confrontation, right? He's just so gentle, and he's helped me to realize that I can be far more kind and gentle and relaxed, more so than anything else. It's okay to be relaxed at home. I didn't realize how strung out and tense I was. There was always this tension in my space, whether it be in my mind, in my body. Just, it was like, you know, but Alex will talk with me. If there's something that's coming up for me, he will sit, or he will be there. He will listen. He will be honest with me. He will, if he doesn't know how to respond, he will say, look, I see you, I feel you, but I don't know how to respond to that. I'm going to need some time to process on that. And that's enough for me. Because I feel acknowledged. And I feel safe enough that those conversations are becoming less and less and less the longer we are together. Because I'm no longer being activated like I used to be. I'm no longer having all this funk come up because I've worked through it with all my other relationships, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So apparently I'm pretty teachable, but the question is, are you? And in relation to Jean-Pierre, what are you learning with this? What your relationship was, what it is now? What are you learning about yourself? Where is it activated you so that you can then go, oh, actually that. Like there was one of my relationships where I realized it wasn't till we ended things that I realized I have never actually lived on my own. Wow. I have never spent time by myself in that way. And having that relationship end, which was, that's going back a few years ago now, it was the very first time that I'd had to do everything. Like, because I'd always either had a flatmate or a relationship, or I lived with many other people, lived with my family. So there was a lot of cohabitating. And it wasn't till the end of that particular relationship that I actually went out on my own, and I was just like, oh gosh, this is weird and a little bit scary. And don't know how I feel about that. And I can see from where I sit now that I would then grasp towards relationships because I was too scared to be on my own, literally to live by myself, because I'd never lived by myself. And now I'm just like, I'm fine either way. So, yeah. All right. Your next card, Alex, is dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. They hold lots of significant insights for you at present. Your dreams may provide you with important details about your current health issues or a creative idea that you require to action to make your desires manifest. Dreams can also give you clues about what is challenging you emotionally. Sometimes your loved ones who have passed over or people you have lost touch with connect to you while you sleep and offer valuable messages that can give you peace of mind or the strength to persist through a challenging situation. Take note of both the dark and the light aspects of your dreams. In particular, pay attention to any reoccurring dreams as they often have significant meaning or wisdom that can help you. Yeah, we work through a lot of stuff in our dreams, as you probably know. So just pay attention to your dreams for the next little bit. And the other thing that I was getting with that is what's in your heart with your dreams? Like, as in, where do you Where would you love to see yourself in 12 months' time? If you take that relationship off the table, just pop it over there, right? And where do you see yourself in 12 months' time? And when you start honing in on that, when you start looking at your dreams and your desires for what you would like for you, and obviously your daughter, and you go, okay, well, actually, I'd really love to do this. I'd love to go on a grand adventure. I'd love to go traveling. I'd love to do I'm sure there's many things that you would actually really like to have happen over the next 12 months. Then a relationship, whether it be with Jean-Pierre or someone else, can add to that. One of the things that people pleasers do, and people who are anxious, have an anxious attachment style do, is we wrap ourselves around a partner. And when we wrap ourselves around a partner, their life becomes our life. Their passions, their goals, their targets or whatever become ours, and we lose ourselves. And in doing that, what we actually do is we smother them, because all of the fun and the excitement and the joyousness and the uniqueness that is you gets shifted away into this weird mirroring of them. And it's like they sit there and they go, what the fuck happened to you? Like, you're not the same person that you were when we got together. Suddenly I'm kind of looking at a weird female version of me, and I kind of don't like it, because now you're really showing me all the parts of me that I don't want to look at. So I would be guessing that that's part of, because I get a sense that you're a really amazing, dynamic woman, and you have so much to offer someone. There's some strength, and I think I saw something in there about boundaries that you mentioned. Yeah, there's a lot of that sort of stuff. So I'm learning boundaries, why I allowed people to take advantage of me, walk over me. I'm learning to let go of control, hyperdependency. I'm so used to just me, and then me and my daughter, and then me and him and my daughter. Yeah. It's okay to have, like, obviously as a mom, so much is about your child. It's also really important that you pay attention to what is important for you, and be the beautiful, sparkly, confident, incredible, creative person that you are. And you have an ability to hyperfixate, right? And that's a part of what obsession is. It's in hyperfixation. It's a skill. Use that skill to your best advantage. So instead of hyperfixating on him, hyperfixating on, let's have a look, see what your plans are. I'm wishing to take my daughter to her first over the sea beach holiday to Bali. Awesome. And I wish to travel to Sydney to visit my cousins. Beautiful. So focus on those things. Shift away from focusing on him. And if he is that good old saying, that nice little cliche, if he's meant to be yours, he will be. Okay? He'll come. He'll come to you. But if he's not meant to be yours moving forward, that's okay too, because you'll be off living your life and traveling and going to Bali with your daughter and having an absolutely fucking amazing time and going to Sydney and all that sort of stuff. Like, yes, get out there and live your life. Make your heart full for you, with you and your daughter. And that means that anybody who comes into your life will be an addition to, not a completion of. Okay? Yeah, I get that, hun. She said that she's afraid to allow a man to take of me financially, to be honest. I had to restart my life after breakups. Wasn't pleasant and hard, but I managed. Yes. And you know what? You're still here. And you did it. I've done it many times. I'm bloody sick and tired of restarting again, so Alex is stuck with me. But at the end of the day, every challenge that you've had, you've done and you've succeeded. Every single one. So use that as a tool to go, wow, an acknowledgement tool. Shit, you know what? I've restarted my life so many times now. And I've gained a whole bunch of skills to do with that. Like, wow, I know, I ended up moving 13 times within 13 years. I freaking know how to move a house. And that's just since being here in Aussie. And I've moved so many times before that. But it's like, a lot of people go, God, that's a lot. And yeah, it is. But you know what? I'm fast and I'm efficient with it now. I can pack up and unpack a house so much quicker than what I used to do, like maybe 20 years ago. So all those moments are fabulous because they've taught you something. Let's go for good England. There is a couple more cards that came out. This is some work that you need to do. This is what your team is asking for you to do, is to ask for forgiveness from yourself, all right, for choices that you've made. And there's a lot of ways that you're beating yourself up and you're doing it really subtly, but it's showing up as self-doubt. So please do some work around forgiveness of you. If you know the Ho'oponopono Hawaiian technique, that's a great way to do it. And the other thing that they said is that this is a time for you to transform your life. Okay. That's why things are being moved away from you. That's why people are moving out of your life, because this is the time for you to transform. You're asking for big, bold, amazing things. And to do that, there has to be some clearing away. You're energetically decluttering your life. And while you're still holding on to things that are not serving you, because it's easier to have the things that you know rather than to have be open to receiving the things that you don't know. It's that whole better the devil you know than the one that you don't thing, than the angel that you don't. It's that. Okay. So yes, please. Forgiveness of yourself. All right. The Malaysian Alex is here with you too, starting 3 weeks ago. Beautiful. Love it. And the other card you got is the open-hearted card. Okay. This is a big heart-opening time for you. And if nothing else, that's what he's showing you. All right. He's this whole stuff, whether it culminates in another relationship or not, you're going to find your heart is just opening bigger, 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 bigger. And it's going to be scary, and it's going to be challenging, and you're going to cry a lot, and you're going to laugh a lot, and you're going to be like, it's a big thing. But once you come through it and out the other side, you'll be far calmer, and you'll be more in touch with who you truly be than you've ever given yourself credit for. Okay. And you're going to be able to teach your daughter some really valuable skills, and you're going to be mentoring her in a way through a beautiful healing process of you. You're showing her how to be a conscious adult, and there might even be some ways that she's showing you that too. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you, Alex, for your kind donation. You are literally helping to keep the show running, and it is an honor to be able to contribute and connect to you in this time of great transformation for you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of Find Your Fridays crew. I appreciate it so much. All right. Let me just check out these messages. He must have gone to bed. How rude. Alrighty. Sandra, can you please pop your question in the chat? That would be amazing. And Manny, hi. Many happy Thanksgivings to you too. We don't do Thanksgiving here in Australia, but I understand that you guys do if you're in the States. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing to come and play over here. Okay, let me just check. You're so funny, Christine. Oh, dear. Oh, Sandra, that's a big question. That's a big question. Yes, it has, Tony. Yes, it has. You're up after I answer that question from Christine. So I got to do Sandra, then Christine, and then Tony. I know, Tony, it's getting late for you, so I understand that. So I'll be pretty quick with Christine. Okay. Sandra, I had an interesting conversation with oh, Alex, I am so jealous. Envious, not jealous, envious. So she said she's going to be logging off. Thank you for the reading this week. I've got to take the kids out for dinner. That's pretty cool. 80 is having a sleepover tonight. Yay. We are putting up the Christmas tree. That's why I'm envious. I'm not allowed to put up the tree yet. My ladies at craft class are like, what? You're not put up your tree yet? You're the lady of Christmas trees. And I'm like, I know. Believe me, I know. So, yeah, we had to come to a compromise last year around the Christmas tree. So I have a little bit more creation stuff to do, and then the tree can go up in the spot where I've been doing my creating. So yes. Tony, it's okay. It's hot and sticky here. I'll be up for a while. Okay, cool. Thank you. I remember you saying that you're a bit of a night owl, so that's cool. Sandra, I keep thinking on my right life path, but it keeps getting changed. I know it has to do with helping others, but not sure how. All right. So the question that I'm going to, these cards have asked to come out, which is the Heal Yourself ones. So it's a lot of reading again. But the question that I'm going to ask them for you is, there we go. What do you require to know about your life path? We'll see what else pops through with your team. And the first thing I'm hearing is, have you considered doing some voluntary work just while you get stuff sorted, like while you're moving through and figuring out what actually works for you? Because it's amazing what can happen when you get back into, like when you do the workforce stuff. If you're in a voluntary role, and that, oh my God, and this is the perfect time for that, because so many places are screaming for volunteers right now. That you get to have connections. Because I don't think you're doing specific work stuff, or is that changed? But even if you are, maybe you're working part-time or something like that, with moving some energy. Wow. That activated something. Oh, wow. Okay. That cool. You've got some real deep base chakra energies activating. So if we have a look at what that stuff entails as well. Just un momento. All right. I love having all of these tools right at my fingertips. It's so handy. And I just never know what's going to come out. That's the funny thing. So let's have a look. That. Connection to earth and survival instincts. It's associated, the base chakra is associated with physical stability, security, self-sufficiency, and responsibility for self. Interesting. There's a little bit of second chakra coming in too, which is your sacral, of course. Just feeling it. As you know, Sandra, I'm a kinesthetic healer, so I feel stuff in my body. So I studied 2 certificates, one in disability and one in mental health. but because of C and being sick, I was unable to finish my placement. Interesting. Is there a chance that you could finish your placements? Go back and repeat that bit, even if you have to do the whole placement again. So your personal growth areas with the second chakra, which I feel is the most relevant, is to do with change and creativity. So there's some interesting things coming out here already. And in some ways I can see, even from this, what cards I've seen come out here, I can see why you're conflicted, because these cards show a little bit of confliction as well. So I'm just asking for a little bit more clarification around what that means and how to help you with that. Like, as in, all right, you're showing me this, and now this is kind of confusing for her. You're not really giving her a super clear way forward. Interesting. All right. So remembering that the question that I asked was, what do you require to know for your life path moving forward? And the first one that you got is patience. I hated this card for the last 20 years. Because I would get this so often. Oh my God, it would just drive me bonkers. So patience is, you must develop patience in all areas of your life. Patience does not mean that you give up and do nothing. On the contrary, you must be aware of several aspects of the circumstance that you are facing. Patience requires you to stop pushing, rushing, and creating potentially explosive situations. Instead, it asks you to see the bigger picture and become aware of the ingredients that you might be missing. If you are impatient with a particular person, instead give them space. Avoid jumping to conclusions and making up dramatic stories about a person or a situation without being aware of all the details. You have an opportunity to let go of judgment. Always look for the truth of a situation and not what someone is saying or doing, but why. Patience can also be connected to a health condition if you are recovering from a new diet or an exercise program you have embarked on, or a new course of study that you may have begun. Okay, so you answered that question. I haven't started placements for either. A lot of places want you to be vaxxed still, so I am beginning to think that's not what I am meant to be doing. Yeah. You have the same reaction to that card as I do. Yes, I can understand that disability and mental health can be challenging. I wonder if, because all of the stuff around mandates and things are all, a lot of that is lifting. Thank fuck for that. I have been very fortunate in my current workplace that they don't enforce it. It was always personal choice. So I'm grateful for that. They are still regulated in that if they do work at aged care facilities or anything like that, and the staff that they bring in, if the company asks for them to be well, then I'm not going to be one of those staff that goes in there. And I'm totally fine with that. So I wonder where either have patience and to do your placements, and or where can you use those skills in a complementary industry, such as the work that I do now as a specialist cleaner. I get to use all sorts of skills. You probably saw my post today. There's a lot of complementary skills within that job that you wouldn't maybe think about. But it's like maybe you have a particular way of being that will be able to be complementary in a different kind of industry to what you're initially thinking. So the reason why that's coming out, you'll understand more as the reading continues. The next card that you got, now you'll understand why I'm like, dudes, you're being really contradictory. What the fuck are you talking about? The next card you got is wild. So you've gone from patience to wild. There is a wild, untamed spirit inside of you, desperate to be unleashed. Free it and claim the gifts of energy, power, passion, and creativity it offers you. Through suppressing your wild, succulent, outrageous, and untamed self, you dull your senses and crush your creativity. You shrink, lose your energy, and become depressed. Your relationships suffer and your rage grows. You become ashamed, hostile, cold, boring, over-serious, and scared. You stop taking chances and live in mediocrity, constantly trying to protect yourself. The truth is that no one can judge you, punish you, or hurt you as much as you can. Give in to your wildness and stop living a sham. This part of you is sensual, provocative, truthful, courageous, bold, passionate, alive. Set it free. Okay, so the biggest one with this one that I was seeing come through, and it links in with the next card, is talking about your creativity. You are going to have to think outside the box in relation to your life path. This is going to be something that it's going to start plopping into your lap, I think. And it's going to come through in a sort of a really obtuse kind of a way. And it's going to kind of like, how does this even, what? But it's like, it'll happen just like me going and working for this cleaning place, right? It was a process that started basically, I think it was about 10 months beforehand. And it's like, I had a few other things to do before I could get to that. I had to have patience. And then when the time was right, everything fell into place really, really fast. So there is something there for you, definitely, but it's not going to be where you think. This is going to be something that's going to be more obtuse. So maybe you're not going to be working specifically in disability, but it might be an industry that's related to that. mental health type stuff. Maybe it's community work, or I'm still getting a sense that voluntary stuff is going to be important for you. And I know that there are places that will accept volunteers that are not jabbed. So have a look around. 31 witches. Unleash your creativity. Your creative talents and abilities are your most powerful assets. Allow your imagination to roam without limits and access new ideas without judging them. It is time for you to be innovative and birth unique creations. If you're feeling stuck, get up and move. Try new things, meet new people, read books, paint, and so on. Concentrate on the area of your life where you require to be creative. Are you a great singer who requires to share your talents with others? Do you have an affinity with gardening? Can you tell powerful stories? Are you technically minded? Can you whip up amazing meals? What is your special flavor of creativity? Whatever it is, give yourself permission and the time to be inventive. The more creative you allow yourself to be, the more fulfilled you are going to feel. All right? Your creativity is bursting. This is why the wild card came out. And I also get the sense now that we're reading this coming through, right? This is why your patience card has come out too, because it's giving you the space that you require to be able to, oh my God, let me get into these other cards in a moment. But yes, this is all coming together. This makes so much sense. Oh my God. It's giving you the space. Let me finish my sentence. I got swept away. The space for you to let this creativity stuff out. Whatever that is, you know what that is for you. There's something that you've been hiding away off to the side there that sort of don't know. It's down there that you're really fucking good at. And it activates you and it makes you feel alive and light up and like all those sorts of things. I wonder if it's to do with animals. Oh, that has a real lightness to it. So just whatever that is for you, I do get a sense it's something to do with animals, but no, I don't want to put words into your mouth. However, the next card is home. How do you keep recreating home? In the context of this teaching, let's use the word home to describe your unconscious ability to attract intimate partners with positive and negative qualities your parents instilled in you. This card honors the wounded child in you and keeps recreating home, hoping to get your childhood developmental codependency needs met. You might even provoke the other to act or look like your original parent. In a world where so many of our natural emotions were not encouraged and worse yet suppressed, you are now encouraged to feel the feelings trapped inside of you that consistently sabotage your life. For some of us, home was an amazing, empowering, and happy place. But for most of us, it was lacking. There was unease and hurt. This is imprinted on your nervous system, which forces the dysfunction you had with your parents to rise to the surface with your current partner and the people close to you. Yeah. So this is also part of why this is coming out, because you still have a little bit of stuff to do around that unconscious stuff that you're recreating from the way that you were raised. So there's some stuff there that you're still healing. And this is why you have to be at home right now. All right. Now, this is why I was starting to get really, really excited, because there was 2 other cards that came out. And I'm not even going to read the book on these ones because they're just perfect. Absolutely perfect. The first one is listen to your intuition. So this is the time for you to unleash your creativity, and to do that, you've got to listen to your intuition. So again, come back to your heart space, because the next card is unlock your heart. All right. So that's why I was like, oh my God, this is why. So there's stuff here. So your life path is to do with, yes, your training, your theoretical training of what you have done so far. Absolutely perfect. Because now you can understand not only animals, but people in a way that a lot of others can't. Okay? Indeed, you are helping others to heal by role modeling. I absolutely agree. Yes, there is a bit more shadow work to do, but your shadow work is about identifying what is holding you back, what is locking up your heart, and preventing your wild creativity from coming forward. Okay? You're going to have to get really brave and honest with yourself. And you're going to have to be like, all right, I'm making the demand now of me. It's like there was one of those cards there that was talking about, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you? Or do you relish in that? Do you like having the trauma drama? Because if you really wish to move forward and be the most incredible person that you are, and to stop not just doing it in little bits and pieces, but be that all the fucking time and not holding yourself back, you're going to have to let go of some old shit. Can you do that and work at the same time? Absolutely. So the other interesting thing that's coming through is in working with animals, whether you do that voluntarily or whatever, maybe you could go and maybe you could see if there's like a shelter or something, like the RSPCA type stuff. Yeah, you could do, hun. Yeah. And or places where they have dogs and things like that need walking or playing interaction time, because the staff in those sorts of places just don't have time. They don't have time to sit and play and allow the dogs to have that interaction with humans. So maybe investigate like rescue places or stuff like that. That will be, there's something in there. There's something in there that's for you. That's going to be a little bit that's going to help move things through. Animals are incredible healers, but the other part that's coming in around your training is that so often people treat animals very poorly, which then impacts the animals, right? But the animals themselves are not that different from us. If we get treated poorly as children, that impacts us as adults. When animals get treated poorly as babies, it impacts them moving forward too. So because you've got that mental health and disability training, even if you haven't been able to do your practicum, and even if you haven't been able to be out in the industry, you've got the theoretical knowledge sitting there. And that is useful even in and of itself. So I would like to help people to heal by using animals. Yeah. Indeed. See? Now what would you do? How could you make that happen? Does it already exist? Is there someone you can link up with that does that kind of work? That maybe you could become an assistant for? Maybe you could do an internship with them. Good night, Melinda. Hugs to you, darling. Yeah, the unconditional love of animals is amazing, but they still have their traumas too. And that's the interesting thing, you know, like Buddy has taught me so much. He has shown me past life stuff that we've had together. He has shown me, and that we've had to be working through. We're actually evening out our karmic stuff from past lifetimes through this lifetime. But it took me realizing that I had to become the patient, kind, very compassionate, I had to open my heart to the tenderness. Even when he's yelling at me, even when he's, you know, in that space of trying to protect Alex, when he's in his most vulnerable spots, like sitting on the toilet. And I'm just trying to go through my day, to see that with kindness and compassion and a bit of humor, you know, and understanding that when he's barking, quite often his body language is showing me how he's truly feeling. There is a real massive difference between him in protective mode, between that and him excited. And then there's the real difference between that and how he is with Alex, and how he gets like really vulnerable and kind of like, yeah, you're home. You know, I don't get that side of him, but that's okay. He's very peaceful with me. Mostly when it's just him and me on our own, he's very peaceful. So even, you know, the writing for the disabled, that could be something that is up your alley. You've got your mental health and your disability training, so that could be complementary for you, and I wonder where that might take you. So I definitely get that there's something there for you, absolutely, but you're going to have to be a little bit more open. Maybe it's not, maybe that training wasn't for people. Maybe it was for the animals, and it's the people that are on the other side. You know, you look at Cesar Millan, like he doesn't treat the dogs like they've got problems. He knows the owners have problems. And the owners think the dog has a problem, but often it's the other way around. We've got to teach the people, not teach the dogs. But the dog is the gateway to the people learning stuff. So yeah, something to think about and to ponder and have some patience with. You've got some really awesome stuff coming up, Sandra, truly. And here's your card. Here's your yummy card. Just to round out your reading is healing. That's what this is about. Your life path is to do with healing. And it's not just, like it's mentioned in there, I'm pretty sure it was in yours, around the wounded healer. Yeah, it's to do with that. And you will become the example, the inspiration for others to go, oh, yes, I know that, and I can do that. Exciting times. So thank you, Sandra, for popping in and choosing a reading. I am so grateful to be connecting with you again a little bit more regularly. It's so nice to see you popping up into the community once more. And I love you. I truly do. It's been a while since we've connected properly, but you know what? It is really, really lovely to have you back. Oh, dearie me. I have over the years connected with some really fucking phenomenal people, and you are definitely one of them. You are one of the most kindest, compassionate people that I know. You've just got this beautiful softness to you, and but you're very layered as well. So there'll be like a moment of softness, and then there'll be a moment of like toughness. It's kind of like you're the like a licorice all sorts. There's like the layers that are just like all nice, soft and squishy, and then there's those slightly harder layers, and then there's the softer layers, and then there's the harder layers, and it's just, you're just such an interesting and curious being for me. Yeah, you're somebody who like, and there's lots of you in my community, and I love this about you all, is that I get to be like, I get to kind of study you. and it's fascinating for me, absolutely fascinating, because of course I'm seeing you guys from a really different point of view to what people in the street do, right? I'm seeing you via your energy and your spirit teams. But with you, Sandra, we've had that big, massive feminine journey that we went through together, and wow. So I'm so pleased that you have gone off and gone and done some more studies and stuff like that. It's always good to keep the brain and the mind active. And now you've learned some extra stuff, and now you can apply it in a different way. How awesome is that? It's exciting. Alrighty. Thank you again for your very kind donation to Find Your Fridays. You are helping to keep the show running, and we love that. Yes, you are. You are interesting. Everybody's interesting. I was once told by a very, very wise lady that I am a student of the people. And I looked at her and I went, "What do you mean by that?" And she said, "You like knowing what makes people tick. You like to study them." And I was like, yeah. It's like you can be a student of fine art or a student of history or a student of medicine. You're a student of the people. And I'm like, huh, yeah, I am. Makes me good at what I do. Hi, Lynn. What are you doing up so late? My goodness. Lynn, I'm drinking Fijoa tea. Yum, 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 yum. How did I get so lucky? All right. Oof, my goodness. My table was very full today. Okay, back to Christine. So she wants another pendulum question. Because she's now added another doctor into the mix. How do you know so many dentists? That's what I want to know. I'm just going to hold it down here because it's too hard for me to get over there now. So, and thank you. All right, so truth. What will it create for Christine in 1,000 years if she chooses Dr. Lee for her dentist? Okay, that was a no. So truth, what will it create in 1,000 years if Christine chooses Dr. Dunn for her dentist? Dr. Dunn is still a yes. So there we go. Thank you for your second little payment there, the little donation. I appreciate you, Christine. I'm so grateful. So, Dr. Lee, is this still a no? Dr. Dunn is a yes. Alrighty. Tony, it is now your turn. My other New Zealander who's come in to say hello and to play. So what is your question, my dear? So I'm curious to know, Lynn and Tony, do you guys know each other? And that's a ridiculous thing for a Kiwi to say because, of course, so many people go to me, oh, my auntie blah, blah, blah lives in New Zealand. Do you know her? I'm like, oh, my God, are you serious? But given that you two are both connected to me, I'm wondering if that you might know each other. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I've actually dialed back the makeup today. Oh, well, there you go. Yay. On book face. You guys are so cute. Oh, dear. Will the Give a Little page I raise enough? Will I raise enough to buy my concentrator? If not, what other way do you see me getting one? It's an interesting question. And will I start getting clients soon? Lynn, that Feijoa tea, I took my first sip of it tonight and I haven't had it's a Healtheries brand, but you cannot get it anymore. It has been off the shelves for years and I refuse to get rid of because it's dried Feijoas. What can I say? And as long as there's no bugs or anything in the bags, I don't see the problem. But yeah, it was like the first sip, I was just like, oh my God. I had no idea that you used to be an Invercargill, Tony. Invercargill. You don't have the Invercargill accent. Yeah, I sent my soul sister out on a big mission before I went over to New Zealand. And do you think she could find anything? There was all sorts of other Feijoa stuff. There was like a Feijoa syrup. There's Feijoa yogurt. There's Feijoa, all sorts of other Feijoa thingies, but not in a tea bag. And I'm like, well, that sucks. All right. I've got the Green Adventurine out, which is this little cool one. I love this one. It's so pretty. So, Merkaba, is that right? Interesting story about those sorts of shapes. I actually used to have a set of all the different types of like the shapes, this sort of stuff. but the person that had gifted it to me gave it to me with a bunch of very wonky juju energy on it. And it took me a while to pin it down because I always felt there was something funky in my healing room and I couldn't figure out what it was for ages. And then eventually, as I was packing up that particular house, I went, and as soon as I touched the box, I was like, ooh. Mm-hmm. So then I started asking some questions around what I could do to eliminate and dissipate the energies on it. Whether I could still keep them. So if I could cleanse and clear it, and then I could continue to use it. And it was like, no, you cannot cleanse and clear this. You can separate it, which will help dissipate the energy over time, but you can't keep this. And so that's what I had to do. I had to separate it out. I had some pieces had to be buried into the garden. Some pieces had to go to the rubbish. Some bits, it was really interesting. And I had to get rid of the box separately from the other pieces. Like, yeah, really fascinating stuff. And then I had to do a lot of cleansing and clearing of myself and the space. Had to remove a lot of bad juju. And I'm just like, wow. And it was so fascinating because the person who had given it to me had ended our friendship the day after she gave that to me. And I was just like, well, that's fascinating. And I wasn't, it was years and years later before I realized what had transpired. So this energy had been following me around for a long time. Probably a good 5-6 years before I realized what was going on. So I had 6 years of energetic impact from this magics. And the day that I got rid of everything, the last piece, she actually reached out to me in Facebook and goes in the messengers and goes, oh, hi, I've been thinking about you. And I was just like, fuck off. No. Like, and how interesting. So I'm very careful about how things are treated and where they've come from. Whether, like, even looking at things like Palo Santo sticks, like, have they been ethically grown and sourced? Because stuff that we use for our spiritual practice, our energetic work, carries with it the vibrations of the people and the environments that it's come from. And so when I got for Melinda her piece of Panamu, I made sure it had been blessed, that it was ethically sourced, that it was, and then I did another blessing myself down at the Waikato River, so that, and I made sure it didn't come through to her with any bad jujus attached to it at all. Like, it was clean and clear and ready for her. And the same for the pieces of other jewelry and things that I got with Alex, and even my pendulum that I bought at the same time. So yes, be aware. And of course we've got tons of selenite. Alex is really up with all of that too. So there's heaps, and then we've got he's got a selenite disc that we put new stuff on when it comes into the home to cleanse and clear everything. And all of my pendulums are in a special box with a selenite wand that was gifted to me a few years ago. So yeah, I feel very lucky to have that. So all of my crystals that I use with you guys, they're always constantly sitting with that wand. So, yeah. Back to Tony and her question. Okay, so Truth, will the Give a Little page raise enough to buy her concentrator? Okay. Truth, will Tony start getting clients soon? Truth, will Tony start getting clients next year? January. Truth. Okay. There's one more I need to check. Recheck, sorry. Okay, cool. All right. So when I asked about the Give a Little page and whether you will raise enough to buy the concentrator, I got a yes. However, you require to do more promotion about it, or have even better, talk to somebody who, maybe a friend or something like that, in New Zealand that is a bit more connected, and have them do a bit of promotion on your behalf about it. And then the money will start flowing in, but you're going to have to be a little bit more willing to reach out, like have some promotion of that. At the moment, it feels like it's kind of just, set up this page and hopefully people will see it and like maybe donate or something to it. Okay. Maybe your very nicely connected friend Lynn can help you with that. As far as clients, it's going to be a little while. I get the sense that there is something else that's going to be popping up for you throughout the first part of the next year that is going to require more of your attention. And so the client side of things was going to start coming through towards the end of next year. So relax around that one. Don't stress about it. There's a building up of energy right now for you to focus on some more softening, deeper stuff for you right now. Let me just double check with a couple of cards. You guys connect on Facebook, on Bookface. Okay. So there's a couple of cards that have popped up. One says examine your integrity. And that one there, like the little brief blurb under that, is stand strong in your convictions. Okay. And this is to do with sitting in your intuition and being really like confident with that, rather than sort of sitting back and waiting for somebody else to come in and save the day kind of thing. But in saying that, so it's saying only you can decide through clear, objective thinking and feelings what is best for you in the situation. Take the time that you need to go within, look at the bigger picture and ask, where are the long-term consequences of this decision? You are being asked to examine your personal integrity and make a stand for something that aligns with your strongest ideals. The choices you make now will not only impact your life, but also your experience in the spiritual worlds and your future lives. Even though you may feel you are giving up a fantastic opportunity, be aware that new potential possibilities are opening up to you, and these possibilities will allow you to influence others in a truly positive manner, thus creating ripples of goodness in the world. So there's something that's going to pop through for you. I'm getting a sense in the next 6 months that you'll be like, oh, that's why I wasn't getting clients. Oh, that's why that hasn't sort of worked out how I thought it was going to work out. Oh, that makes so much more sense now. But it's like everything is in divine timing. And there's some slight stuff there for you that is needing your attention that is going to happen in the next few months, that if you were having this other stuff going on, like having clients, you wouldn't have enough energy to do both, and so both would suffer. Does that make sense? I hope. All right. Hi, Tracy. Hi, love. I'm doing really well. I've had a bit of a nap this afternoon, so I'm doing good. But we are heading towards a 3-hour show, and I'm starting to get a little tired. The other one that came out was to stop breaking agreements. So that I thought was a really interesting one. So it says, allow others to develop trust in you. How often do you say that you're going to do something to a colleague, a friend, a family member, or yourself, and then do nothing? I think that's the sentence that you really have to pay attention to. So, for example, your clothing. like you were saying earlier, I can declutter my clothing, then do it. So pay attention to the things that you are agreeing to do. And then as a nicety, and be aware, are you saying that as a nicety and a connection point to someone else, or do you actually mean it? And that's where your integrity is coming in too. So this next little bit of, I guess, shadow work for you is looking at, do you do what you say and say what you do? Or is it, do you just sort of say what you think people want to hear and then let it slide from there? It's like, oh, actually, nah, I'm too tired, too sore. I'm too, put in the reason here. Okay. So that's why those two cards have come out. And while you've still got that stuff going on in your world, don't know that the clients are going to come through as easily as what they will once you get those two things sorted. Okay. This is seriously, this particular part of our spiritual development is really fucking tough. We have already had such a huge, massive year of being pushed and pulled and forced into knowing what it's like to be doing the 5D world. And we're starting to get to a point now where, like, we've got that nice momentum going, but with that, man, we still have to shake off a lot of this old crap. And a lot of it is around self-doubt, around judgment, and holding ourselves to a very low standard. Really, we're shaking off all those old pathways that kept us controlled and small and not connected. And it's like, now we're just like, now it's time to move, shift, change, my friends. And to do that, we have to get bloody uncomfortable. So now more than ever, the momentum is there for us to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. Which means some brutal honesty from ourselves towards ourselves. It's not to do with other people. And what gifts? I just read your little message there. It says, I feel broken when that horrible person did that to my business. I know. And what gift is there in there for you? What have you learned? What is that activated for you that you haven't considered yet? Maybe that was, when we're going down a certain path and we're getting off path of where we're meant to be, our higher selves, the universe, creator, whatever it is, gives us a big old slap around the head to redirect us to the way that we're supposed to be, the direction that we're supposed to be going. And I've had a lot of redirections in my life. And at the time, it felt horrible. At times, it felt absolutely, not quite soul destroying, but I felt lost, alone, abused, neglected, all sorts of things. Loneliness and being alone was the worst. But I personally know now I required every single one of those moments when I was sad and disappointed or whatever. It's redirections to get you back in the path of what you're meant to be doing. And sometimes we can't see that path because we're so full up of our stuff, whether it be judgment, anger, grief, pain, sadness, disappointment, you name it. It pops up to distract us from where we're meant to be going. So I would highly recommend, Tony, that you get into Ho'oponopono, work on some forgiveness for that situation, and allow yourself the space and time to be able to move forward. All right. Alrighty, my loves. Thank you, Tony, for your very kind donation to Find You Fridays. I am so grateful for you. You are helping us to expand this conversation even further. I definitely do see that, like, the pendulum was saying, yes, you will get the money, but you're going to have to be a little bit more creative with how you get your story out there. So if you like, if you want to, pop the link to that fundraiser in the chat. And if anybody of the Find You Fridays crew wishes to donate towards that, then they are able to, towards your converter. All right, I'm guessing for your oxygen. And so, yeah, I'm inviting you now to place that link in there if you would like to. All right. Cool. So that's all the donations done. I am so grateful for all of you. Let us. Cool. So tonight, I'm going to keep this one really short and sweet because I'm getting pretty tired. Had a very big week. And while I had an absolutely phenomenal session today, and you guys have all been incredible, we're going to keep it back to basics today for our meditation. And we're going to do a little bit of, this is something that's been brewing, or it's been tugging at me for a few weeks now, if not a few months, to do with you. So take a big deep breath. Close your eyes. And breathe out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing Mother Earth energy in and up through your body, bringing that unconditional love all the way up. And as you breathe out, bring your Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And now we're expanding out our awareness. A big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness greater than the country that you're in. Greater than the planet. Greater than the solar system. Greater than the universes. And if you like, out beyond wherever you've been before. And now focusing on your body once more. Grabbing your sense of allowance and expanding that out. Expanding out your sense of allowance, greater than your body, in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your sense of allowance, greater than the home that you're in, greater than the country that you're on, bigger than the planet, that lovely big sphere all around you. Expanding out your allowance out beyond the size of the solar system, out beyond the size of the galaxies. out beyond the size of the universes. And now out beyond the size of your awareness. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allowing your body to relax just that little bit further. Now I'd like you to imagine that much like when we talk about expanding out our allowance and we're like that big old fluffy cloud watching the raging river, everybody else's thoughts, feelings and emotions, and just seeing it for what it is. It's just energy. I'd like you now to imagine that you are on that cloud. You are laying down. Your body is fully supported by the cloud. It's nice and soft and fluffy. And as it's floating around, it's connected to Mother Earth, and you can feel the energy of unconditional love coming up from Mother Earth, holding you safe and supported. Giving you the confidence to release any hard or negative energies or emotions that are floating around your heart. With every breath in and out. And of course, we've got the new moon energy with us right now as well, giving us the darkness that we require to gently let the things, the aspects of ourselves in our shadow time out, to be able to release that with every breath. And now I'd like you to focus on your toes. And imagine that that unconditional love is moving along your toes. I'd like you to now physically scrunch them up. And as you scrunch them up, you're really, really activating and bringing to the surface any energies, any emotions that you have stuck in your toes, bringing them to the surface, raising them up. And now let your toes relax. And imagine all of that negative energy, all of those energies that are no longer serving you, perhaps that once kept you safe, but we say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And as you say that, the unconditional love comes through your toes, making them nice and warm and safe, and giving you comfort as you release these energies, these harder emotions and negative experiences. You might see the energies coming out of your toes, going into the cloud, and being transformed into rain to nourish and nurture the earth below. And now crunch up, scrunch up, tighten your feet, all together. Once again, bringing any energies, any emotions, anything else that's no longer serving you right to the surface. And then as you relax, all those emotions, all those energies flow out of your feet, down into the cloud. And the beautiful unconditional love of Mother Earth is now flowing through your feet and through your toes and through your feet, up to your ankles. And as this transfer of energies is happening, you might like to give your feet a little bit of a circle, just loosening up those energies. And you can almost feel that your feet are ready to step forward with confidence in whatever you choose to do. It's like all that self-doubt and the grief and the pain of all those old experiences are now leaving your feet, leaving your body. And those energies of confidence and love and compassion, kindness and gratitude are all coming to the surface to be embraced. Coming up through your ankles, tighten your ankles and up into your calves and your shins. Do that whole lot all at once. Tighten, 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 tighten. Bringing those old energies all the way to the surface. And now let it go. Let them all release out of your system into the cloud, so it can be transformed into beautiful, nourishing raindrops. And that unconditional love, the bright white opalescent light, is moving through from your toes, your feet, your ankles, through your shins and your calves, filling you with unconditional love, which in turn is giving you the confidence you require to move forward. Now your knees, tighten your knees. Really tight now. And now release. And bringing that Mother Earth energy, that unconditional love, bright white opalescent light through your toes, your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves to your knees. Reminding your body of what it's like to be more flexible. Along with the confidence, it's the flexibility to be able to be open and honest and vulnerable, to be able to learn with ease. Being able to see things from other people's points of views. Coming up through your thighs, tighten those muscles all the way around your thighs, the up, the front, the back, and the side, outside to the inside. Tighten, 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 tighten. Hold, hold, hold. There's so much energy in our thighs. Our thighs do so much work for us on a day-to-day. And now release. Let all of those energies that you've been storing in your thighs, all the pain, shock, trauma, and heartache, let it release out of your body into the cloud. And now that beautiful unconditional love moves up through your feet, through your ankles, through your shins and your calves, your knees to your thighs. Beautiful. Just feeling how different your legs feel now, how much more confident you feel, how much more empowered you feel. Just literally step forward with confidence. Coming up through your pelvis. So we're just going to do the whole pelvic region in one go. I'm not going to split it up. So from your butt right through to your front of your pubic bone, the whole pelvis, even the low belly. Make it really, really, really tight. Keep holding it, holding it, holding it. Really activating, bringing to the surface all that shock, trauma, and heartache from all those past experiences, past relationships where you've held yourself back instead of letting yourself be all of you. And now releasing, allowing yourself the magic and the freedom of space. Bringing that unconditional love as you breathe in all the way up through your legs, all the way up through your pelvis, allowing you to feel the relaxation and the release of no longer striving or trying to be something that you are not. Allowing yourself to tap into your greatest passions and your desires and the freedom to do that. Okay, now your stomach area all the way around the back, so your whole diaphragm, the diaphragm wraps all the way around your body. So tightening all of that up. All those core muscles that they talk about, tighten, tighten, tighten. Hold it, hold it, hold it. You can keep breathing. Really, really hold that. Bring it all up. Bring up all that shock, trauma, and heartache. All those experiences and those emotions that you've held deep, deep, deep down in your belly that you're ready to let go of now. Bringing them all up and now relax. Let all of that flow out of your body as you relax into the cloud where it's getting transformed into beautiful, nourishing rain. Taking a big deep breath in, bringing up that unconditional love through your legs, through your pelvis, through your belly. It's soothing and calming your stomach, allowing you to know how to balance creativity and control with kindness and compassion. Allowing you to tap into your gut instinct with total ease. Coming up to the chest and the heart area, all the way up to your collarbone. Tighten all that up now. Really bring that in. Bring all those ribs all the way in. Make them really, really, really tight. And as you do this, you might be finding that you've got some burps coming up and all sorts of things. It's totally normal. It's a very, very good way of releasing energy is through burping and yawning. So keep that tightness coming. Tighten, 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 tighten. Just for a little bit more, a few more moments. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We hold so much energy in this area of our bodies. And now release. Allow all your ribs, your heart area, all the way up through your shoulders to your collarbone. Just relax, let all of those energies, all that shock, trauma, and heartache to melt away out of your body into the cloud. Feeling the joyousness of the cloud as it's given this energy to turn into rain. Giving it something that it can use to help nourish this beautiful earth that we live on and live with. Beautiful. And that unconditional love light is moving all the way up through your body, through your stomach, through your chest. Soothing and nourishing and nurturing all the spaces and places where those heavy energies were. Okay. Now we're going to do the arms. And let us do the whole lot all the way down to your hands and your fingers. So do the whole arm from the top of the shoulders all the way down. Really, really tense, 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 tense. Tighten up your fingers into a big fist. Really, really make them tight. Only make your arms tight though. Holding, 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 holding. Keep going, keep going, keep going. As tight and tight and tight as you can possibly be. Bringing up all of those times you've felt neglected and hurt and abandoned. All those times, the shock, trauma, and heartache where you feel rejected by partners, workplace, friends, family, where your kind and loving arms weren't appreciated. All of those energetic impacts, bring them all up to the surface now. And now release. Releasing all the times that your work hasn't been appreciated. Your time hasn't been appreciated. Your creativity hasn't been appreciated. Releasing all of that energy out to the cloud. And as that unconditional love from Mother Earth comes up through your body and circles around your shoulders, all the way down to your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, down to your fingertips, it's also bringing with it and reminding you of the space of forgiveness of self. This next one's going to be a bit interesting. Now I'm going to ask you to tense up your throat and your neck. Just make it really super tight. Keep holding. For all the times that people have pissed you off, made you feel like you couldn't speak your truth, where you held yourself back because you were afraid of what would happen if you did speak up. All of that, all the shock, trauma, and heartache coming up, bringing it out of your throat space. I know this is a difficult one to do, but so many have trouble in this area, especially if they are trying to do the heart-centered work. And now release. Let all of that pain and grief, shock, trauma and heartache move out of your neck and your throat. Allowing all of that negative energy which has been placed in your throat to release to the cloud. And as the beautiful Mother Earth energy moves up through your body, through your legs, through your stomach, and is continuing to flow down through to your fingertips and beyond, comes up through your throat and your neck. And as it does so, you can feel yourself gently, quietly confident, being able to stand up for yourself or other people, and done in such a way that it is quietly confident. It doesn't have to be loud and brash to be confident. And with that, you're also reminding yourself of the beauty of asking for assistance when required. And gently, kindly, and lovingly receiving kindness and generosity from others with total ease. Alright, and now we're going to do the entire face and head, I think, as one lot if I can. Maybe we'll just do the face. Alright, here's where things are going to look a bit funny. Good thing we've got our eyes closed. So I'd like you to now tighten up your entire face, a bit like you've got swallowed a big, huge lemon. Bringing your face really, really tight. Cheeks and your eyes. If you can imagine your ears being really tight. Your mouth, your jaw, your teeth, your tongue, the whole lot. Just tighten it up really, really, really tight. Just so that you can bring to the surface all of the stuff, all the ways, all the masks that you've hidden behind. Just bring them all out. And now release. Letting all of the shock and the trauma and the heartache go from all the times that you've covered up your face and kept yourself safe in the old days, and it's no longer required anymore. Those masks are no longer necessary, and the energy of those masks are no longer necessary. Let them all slide away off your face now, off to the cloud, to be turned into beautiful, nourishing, nurturing rain. Feel as your cheeks relax and your mouth relaxes and opens, so you can once again speak the truth, where you can express your creativity and express your love and kindness, express your confidence, to know and feel your connectedness to others and your intimacy and your generosity. Where you finally see and feel the gratitude for you, with you, by you. And finally, the rest of your scalp. Tighten all that up now, right through to your ears. Tighten up the rest of your scalp. And this is also for your subconscious and conscious mind. Just imagine that whole thing as being really, really tight, really tense. It's bringing up those energies that have been preventing you, all those thoughts, feelings, and emotions that have been preventing you from seeing beyond the ego. Preventing you from seeing beyond the trauma. Whatever has been preventing you from being able to positively see all the possibilities open to you. Let's let all of that release out of the body now. See it just streaming out of your mind, out of your subconscious and conscious head, out of your scalp, down into that cloud. And for the first time in a very long time, perceive the space that you now have in your brain and in your scalp. Beautiful. And now taking one last big breath with that unconditional love coming all the way up through from Mother Earth, through your feet, through your ankles, through your legs, through your pelvis, through your belly, through your chest, all the way down to your fingertips, through your throat and your neck, all the way through your face, and now through the top of your head. And just see how that energy just flows so differently as you breathe out, and your body just feels so relaxed and calm and confident and safe. That gentle little tug of, I can do anything that I wish to do. Now we're going to float down from the cloud, knowing that the ground beneath us is nourished and nurtured by all of that rain. And the cloud floats on by, and you can perceive around the big, beautiful river rock that you're standing on all the lush green grass and other wildflowers. And now breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. And Father Sky energy all the way down as you breathe out. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Once more, Mother Earth and the gratitude, Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. And when you're ready, open your eyes if you haven't fallen asleep. Have a bit of a drink of water. You've just released a whole bunch of energy. And I hope this gives you the time and the space to be able to move through this week coming with a lot more ease, especially at the start of the silly season, or the silly season is now very much here. So for this week to come, be kind and gentle with yourselves. Make sure that you're being conscious with how you're spending your money. Perhaps have some different conversations this year around Christmas and what people might like for presents. So until next week, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself, connect in with Mother Earth, connect in with a special friend or something like that. Until I see you next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.